Alpacas block traffic on busy English highway.
Two-story house floats through San Francisco Bay.
Overdue book returned to Colorado Library after 105 years.
Man balances running lawnmower on his chin for 9 minutes, 17 seconds.
All this and more coming up on The Talking Goose.
This is again our friends at Alaska Airlines.
Now the question is, the dog's lucky that the door plug didn't blow out.
Right?
But if it did, would the dog had a cell phone with him to take a selfie or record it?
In this day and age, wouldn't surprise me.
Possible.
Same thing I get from the people who work for me. Bad rocket, bad.
Here we are, folks, episode 9. We've made it this far. You know, co-host, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in one of those situations like stuck in traffic and or you're on an airplane and you got to go to the bathroom, but you can't?
Many times.
Many times. That leads right into our very first story of the day.
An airline passenger has been fined in Sydney for urinating in a cup. So...
What? A cup, not a Gatorade bottle?
Nope.
Nope, a cup. All right, go on with it.
Hopefully it wasn't like a sippy cup, but a passenger has been fined for urinating in a cup during a delay in deplaning after landing at Sydney Airport. The incident, after a 3-hour Air New Zealand flight from Auckland, occurred last December, and a Sydney court has fined the 53-year-old man $600 Australian dollars, which is $3.95 American, for offensive behavior, not indecent exposure.
Yeah, I would have said indecent exposure. I mean, to whip it out in front of a group of people on an airplane, no.
So, when I first read this, it was like, when you got to go, but then it gets better.
Oh, okay, all right.
The incident only came to public attention Friday when New Zealand news website Stuff reported that a passenger in the same row, identified only as Holly, said that she had reported the behavior to the air crew. She and her 15-year-old daughter were sitting in the same aisle and middle seats when the man in the window seat, whose name has not been released, was urinating in a cup.
What did he do? Just whip it out and start peeing in a cup?
Did he turn towards the window, or
did he ask for a blanket or something?
Right.
Anyways, go on.
She said the man was obviously quite drunk and spilled urine on a flight attendant as he left the plane.
Good God!
But the mishap with the attendant wasn't his crime. Australian Federal Police said in a statement that officers removed him from the plane because he had urinated into a cup while in his seat.
But that would be talent, in my opinion.
Depending on, how much he could do it without revealing his...
exposing himself.
There we go.
Yeah.
Air New Zealand said it does not comment on individual incidents, that it bans between 5 and 10 customers each month for disruptive behavior, including intoxication, and I guess peeing in a cup.
If that was America, the TSA would have taken him out and threw him on the ground, and they would have really
with his pants down.
With his pants down, yeah, they wouldn't have let him have him up or anything. Wow, some people. Now, here's one that I've had happen to me before. When you're out driving around, I know you do a lot of driving. You run a courier company along with this little fun endeavor. Things that block the road. You get a lot of stupid things that block the road.
Construction, accidents, your normal stuff, but then you get your weird stuff too.
The weird stuff, yeah. And it appears that across the pond they get weird stuff also.
Yeah, we got some alpacas. And travelers on a British highway were surprised to find their path blocked by a herd of escaped alpacas. The llama cousins wandered onto the A1307 near Hemmingford Abbots in Cambridgeshire.
Now, folks, that's not the actual alpaca right there, but that is an alpaca.
Yeah, that is an alpaca with like a beetle haircut. But
yeah, that is right for being in England.
And here, this story gets better too. Kathy Booty, who was traveling with her husband Richard Booty, said there were more than 20 of the animals in the roadway when another woman got out of her car and coaxed them into the grassy median. Booty called Cambridgeshire police. Was that a booty call?
Oh,
Where's the rim shot?
rim shots right.
After the booty call, the Cambridge police confirmed that the officers responded to the scene. The police said the owner of the alpacas returned them to their field by the time the officers had arrived.
Well, that's about as good as the story that I was reading about. We're not going to cover it, but remember we were reading the story about the cows that escaped and then went and turned themselves in.
Right.
At an animal refuge. But that whenever I see alpacas, I think of that commercial for, I think it was CarMax, where they had the alpacas driving the car around and their heads sticking out of the sunroof.
Yeah.
I mean,
my
God!
Who likes Star Wars?
I like Star Wars, and I might actually go do this on May 4th, being that it's coming up. I mean, we got ourselves a few more days. Once this episode airs, it will be closer to May 4th, and
we have a bustling light rail here in the Phoenix area.
Yeah, so that would be fun, but to do. But
police in Scotland said a reported armed man who led to a train returning to a station turned out to be a Star Wars. Is it cosplayer or cosplayer? I never
cosplay.
Know. Cosplayer. On his way to a comic book convention. The man known as the Grampian Stormtrooper on social media was dressed in his Imperial Stormtrooper costume with a Scottish twist, a kilt, when he boarded a ScotRail train to Dundee at the Aberdeen train station.
Now that is a Stormtrooper I would not mess with. A Stormtrooper wearing a kilt.
Did he have like bagpipes with him?
Yeah, maybe.
The train returned to the station shortly after departing, and the man was approached by a guard who escorted him to waiting police officers. The cosplayer wrote on Facebook that he was met by 2 firearms officers, 3 police Scotland, 2 British transport police, and a partridge in a pear tree.
And Lord Vader.
Yeah, and had to and had to chat them all in an office.
Dun 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 dun.
Your lack of faith disturbs me. The man learned that he had been reported for carrying a firearm on the train, and he explained to the police that his blaster was a plastic prop. Police took the man home so he could get a bag for his blaster so as not to alarm his fellow train passengers again. He said he was also asked not to wear his full Stormtrooper armor on the train. Oh, man.
I'm okay with that, but still, though, you got to give him credit for running around looking like a Stormtrooper with a kilt. That right there. I would.
The moral of this story: bag your blasters.
But here we go. There it is.
The man was headed to decon at the Duncan of Jordanstone College. I love these English names. Art and design, and said it was the first time in 10 years of cosplaying that he had been approached by police. A British Transport Police spokesperson confirmed the incident, issued to Aberdeen Live. Officers received reports of a man with a firearm, a plastic blaster, entering Aberdeen Station just before 9 a.m. on Saturday. The representative said officers attended alongside colleagues from Police Scotland, and it was determined it was a false alarm.
But you can tell when those things are fake, though.
Oh, that's like
me
and Scott with the plastic water gun, and somebody got scared.
Yeah, but didn't you guys paint those things though?
Yeah, we did paint it.
To look
from
real,
like green to black, and so it looked.
But the one I remember is, you remember the Intertech or Intitech, the squirt guns that ran on batteries, but they looked real, like real weapons. They had like the Uzi and the handheld. But you put batteries.
That's before they made those big. What do they call those? The blasters.
Yeah, super soakers.
Yeah, super soakers with the bubbles that were obviously not real.
Well, yeah, but and eventually with the
too many people were shot holding a water gun probably, and so they had to start.
That's why they put it on the tip of all of them, the red.
Yeah.
Now toy guns all have a red tip on them. We've covered some stories in this show a number of times about overdue library books, like the last one about the book about psychedelics. Remember?
Yep.
That one. I mean, what, 30 years later or something? It was. It got returned, and
well, they find it at that guy Hunter Thompson's house after he committed suicide or something.
yeah.
This one is an overdue book returned to Colorado Library after 105 years.
Now that's a long time.
Yeah, this is, my grandparents were in diapers when this was.
Oh, I know.
Colorado Library.
But the guy from the last episode, he 111, he was around.
Yeah,
he was around.
That's true.
And that book looks like it's in really good shape for 105 years. At least just that front cover on it.
Yeah, no, it was probably sitting on a shelf for eternity. Colorado Library said the book was recently returned to the facility after being due back 105 years earlier. I'm not sure how to say this. Pudra Libraries announced on its website that the copy of Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott had been due back.
At least it's a good book.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, shoot.
Ivanhoe's a classic.
Wasn't exactly Men Are From Mars Women. And
Yes.
it had been due back at the Fort Collins Public Library and Free Reading Room on February 13th, 1919. My grandpa would have been 6.
Yeah, let's see. Mine would have been, 6 also.
The book was returned to the library system by a woman who reported that her brother had found it among their mother's belongings in Kansas. So not only was it overdue, it had traveled.
Well, it was overdue and it was in Kansas. So, now it's not in Kansas anymore.
Mm-hmm. Toto? The library system said the book would have accrued about...
Now, wouldn't it have been great if the book was actually Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, or something by, was it Frank Baum?
Yeah.
The library system said the book would have accrued about $760 in late fees under the 1919 rate of 2 cents per day. But the library eliminated late fees in 2020, so,
What was the how much would have been due?
$760? 2 cents per day for 100 years?
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'd say I'll take that 2 cents per day for 100 years. That's $700 or $7.60 if that's what it is.
No, $760.
Oh, $760.
Yeah,
okay.
no, yeah.
I mean, hey, yeah. Well, hey, thankfully that they got rid of library fines.
Yep. Right after Blockbuster got rid of late fees.
Yeah, right after Blockbuster closed.
Yeah. All right. Our next story takes us to the San Francisco Bay.
Houseboats. This is like the definition of a houseboat.
Yeah, that's definitely...
Yeah, it will definitely be a houseboat. So go ahead and take it away.
The mystery of a 2-story home seen floating in the San Francisco Bay for several days has been solved. The wood-shingled home was first spotted on the water on Sunday and was seen in various locations around the bay in ensuing days. The U.S. Coast Guard said it is monitoring the private transfer of the house, which was built atop a floating barge. So they actually built a functional house on a floating barge.
Yeah, that's what got me. That was like, that's actually really cool. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
At least I didn't have to worry about sewage.
Right.
I mean,
no Boeing bombs there.
No.
The floating house sparked a flurry of speculation when it was first seen in the water, with many pointing out similarities to the Pixar film Up, just in the water instead of the air. It has now been revealed that the house was the second to last houseboat to leave the Redwood City Marina, which was formerly home to 100 people living on the water, but the city started evicting the houseboats in 2015 after lawsuits from nearby residents.
Oh.
Wonder why?
Yeah, I mean, that you would expect that in a marina, but if all the houseboats look like the one.
Yeah, it would look
like that. I mean, if all houseboats look like that, then I could sort of see why they would be evicting them. Because I mean, when I'm used to seeing houseboats, it's like
right
a houseboat. I mean,
the house arrived Tuesday at its new home at the Commodore Marina in Sausalito. The Phil Hott of Sausalito, doesn't say who Phil Hott is or if he's hot,
I hope you don't think Phil's hot.
Said the house's journey took several hours longer than expected. It was up a twisty channel. It sounds like a British guy talking.
It does actually, yeah.
So you have to have the tide right.
A twisty tay.
Yeah. And you have to come down without the wind blowing you into the bank, he told the NBC Bay Area News. You don't want it to drag you out to the Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah, we don't want another bridge accident like in Baltimore. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually a very sad situation. What happened there?
So, do you like marshmallows?
I love marshmallows. I love melting marshmallows and eating them when they're all crispy and charred.
Yeah.
What this story reminds me of is the turkey drop.
Oh yeah, from WKRP.
The turkey drop. With God as my witness, I swear that turkeys could fly.
Yeah, the marshmallows. Thank God. No marshmallows were harmed in the
promotion of this event.
Yeah, the children raced to collect marshmallows dropped from a helicopter at a Detroit area park. So it rained marshmallows at a suburban Detroit park on Friday as children raced to snatch up thousands of the gooey treats being dropped from a helicopter. The annual Great Marshmallow Drop took place at Catalpa Oaks County Park in Southfield, hosted by Oakland County Parks. Hundreds of children waved and cheered as the helicopter passed by on the way to the drop zone. Once there, a passenger dumped the treats out of a sack and onto the grass below, and children darted to collect them. So they weren't waiting, and they weren't like rained on by.
Yeah, but it was sort of a neat story.
Yeah. As you read a little bit further, it does get really. It's
go ahead.
A good story. Officials stressed that although the fluffy treats are tempting, they must not be eaten because they hit the ground. That's what confused me at first. I'm like, are they standing there saying, "I got this one. I got this one"?
Yeah. I would still do that.
Well,
I would try to catch it.
Wouldn't that be the same effect? It was like a penny coming off the Empire State Building. It gains momentum as it comes down.
Good question.
Yeah. So anyway. Instead, the kids exchanged the marshmallows they collected for a prize bag containing candy, a coloring book, and a one-day pass to a water park. Shoot, I'll trade in marshmallows for a one-day pass.
Oh, I would have cheated on that one. I would have had Mom and Dad go buy me bags.
Speaking before the event, Melissa Nawrocki, Oakland County Recreation Program Supervisor, said 15,000 marshmallows would be dropped. So were they numbered?
Yeah, so they
to make sure there was no counterfeit marshmallows.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, make sure nobody was mixing the pot there and putting in a few more.
It was a celebration. The weather's beautiful, so we're happy to get outdoors, interact, and pick up some marshmallows. Said one of the mother of three who took part in a special drop reserved for children with disabilities. This is the good part of the story. The helicopter made 4 passes, dropping marshmallows aimed at kids in 3 age categories: 4-year-olds and younger, 5 to 7-year-olds, those 8 to 12 years old, and a drop for children with disabilities came later that day. Being a special needs mom, I love seeing events like these that are catered toward her son, so he doesn't feel excluded.
Yeah, and that's the good part about it, that they actually did have a special drop for those kids with disabilities. I mean, they can't compete with the
Right.
regular kids in that age group, and
there was no trampling like they were going for Tickle Me Elmo at Christmas time in 1998,
or the Cabbage Patch Dolls in '83, I think it was, or
Something
'82.
like that, yeah.
I mean,
So
it's now this next one is actually really, really a cool story. I didn't get the video off of it.
Oh man!
And I should have, because it is.
If you get a chance to look this up, it's on Sky News. This bird sounds just like a police siren. It's amazing how. Yeah.
It is very amazing to hear how it actually is.
Yeah, and the story says police officers were left confused by a bird when it convincingly mimicked the sound of sirens on their cars. Thames Valley Police said it initially thought their vehicles had developed a fault after hearing the noise at a roads policing base in Bicester. I think that's how you say that. A video filmed at the site in Oxfordshire and posted on social media shows the bird chirping in a tree before then replicating the sound of a two-tone siren. The force said that the copycat call was 100% real and not a late April's Fool joke, and added that the officers were left a little confused.
Yeah, it was. I would be confused. I would, when I listened to it, those guys sounded like.
Yeah, it did. They added, it's so accurate they've been left thinking the sirens were faulty on the cars. From our workshops that test out the two-tone tune to officers, wow, that's a tongue twister, deploying to jobs, this little fella has been sat patiently observing the noise to recreate it. Social media users speculated that the bird could be a starling, which are known for their ability to mimic man-made noises.
Let me do this, everybody that's watching. Let's go ahead and we'll, through the magic of editing, let's go ahead and cut to the video right now. It will be, and then we'll come right back to it. Yeah, that was actually really good. I like that. That bird is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I want that bird so I can mount him on my car. And I won't get it.
It's like the Flintstones.
Yeah, I won't get into trouble because I'm not trying to impersonate a police officer. It's the bird's fault.
Yeah, ticket the bird. Jeez.
Yeah, it's all the bird's fault. Blame it on the bird. Now we've also a number of times we keep turning up all these really interesting stories about what people find in their backyard or what people find when they're digging things up and a lot of it has been World War II ordnance. But this one's even older. This one's even older, and it's not going to blow up on you accidentally.
No, even though they think it was in the story. The landscapers unearthed a suspected Civil War cannonball in a Virginia yard. Landscapers were working in the backyard of a Virginia home, and they made a surprising discovery, a suspected cannonball dating from the Civil War. Jason Singh, a real estate agent with Innovation Properties, said the landscapers were working in the yard of a home on Frederick Street in Staunton when they uncovered what they initially thought to be a strange rock. One of them ended up rinsing it off, and we saw that it was a metal ball. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, this is a cannonball. Singh told the TV station. He said he had recently dealt with a similar discovery at another home, so he knew what to do. And he called the Staunton Fire and Rescue to respond to the home, and ended up calling also the Virginia State Police to cart the suspected explosive away. We assumed it was a Civil War era cannonball because it can be very unstable, and so we treated it as a live ordnance, said Perry Weller, the Deputy Chief of Community Risk Reduction for Staunton's Fire and Rescue. And then it says something about a Jacksonville man faced with a similar situation when his dog unearthed a. Oh yeah,
that was a couple episodes back. We didn't cover that story. It was another World War II ordnance. I mean, there is it's just interesting. I would love to find something like that in my backyard.
I know, and if it wasn't explosive, I mean, why wouldn't you keep it as like a mantelpiece or something?
Yeah, souvenir.
Yeah,
souvenir. Now we've got a follow-up story. We like to do follow-up stories. Yeah, we like definitely. We follow up with this story. Last week, or last episode, we had brought you a story about a piece of space debris that crashed through a Florida home, and they didn't know if it was from the space station or what, but
NASA has confirmed it.
NASA now has confirmed it. Yeah.
NASA confirmed an object that crashed through the roof of a Florida home was indeed garbage jettisoned from the International Space Station.
It wasn't a Boeing bomb.
Damn. The cylindrical object crashed through Alejandro Otero's roof in Naples, Florida on March 8th, and the sound of the crash was recorded by the homeowner's Ring camera. Again, they don't have that in the story. I would love to hear that.
Yeah.
But the object was taken by NASA to be examined, and the space agency now has confirmed that it was indeed the remains of a 5,800-pound cargo pallet of depleted nickel hydride batteries that was jettisoned from the ISS in March 2021. So it was in orbit for 3 years.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be like space pollution?
You'd think, but, must be run by the Spaceballs or something. The hardware is expected to fully burn up during entry through Earth's atmosphere on March 8th. So I guess they dropped it, and then it floated in space for 3 years, and they expected it to hit the atmosphere on March 8th. However, a piece of the hardware survived
that is exactly why I'm not a rocket scientist.
That's why I'm just a rocket courier.
Oh, but there you go. I didn't.
The piece of hardware survived re-entry and impacted a home in Naples, Florida. No comment on whether or not they paid for the damage, but the 1.6 pound of debris measuring about 4 inches long was identified as a stanchion from the NASA flight support equipment used to mount the batteries on the cargo pallet. Again, I'd like to see what that looks like. That just sounds interesting. But NASA said the ISS will conduct an investigation to determine the cause of the debris survival and to update modeling and analysis as needed. So they're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. But, sorry, dude, you got a hole in your roof.
I hope NASA paid for it.
Yeah, right.
I mean, wow. Good stories this week.
Yeah.
Good stories this week. So, I'm good with them. I really think we had some good ones there. Now, like every week, we go ahead or every episode. Why am I saying every week? Because we do this every 2 weeks. I mean,
yep. No, we got some cool new world records.
Let's go ahead and move on to world records. Actually, some really strange world records this week. So here we go, folks. Okay, so we had recently between episodes here, we had the solar eclipse. Was that what it was?
Yeah. I
mean, and usually people all do strange things for solar eclipses. So no different nowadays.
Isn't what was the name of the movie? Little Shop of Horrors. Didn't that happen during the solar eclipse?
Oh, that's a good question.
So the city of Niagara Falls in Ontario, Canada, celebrated the eclipse by gathering 309 people to wear sun costumes and break a Guinness World Record. The city said on social media that 309 people in sun costumes came together on a Niagara City cruise boat hours before Monday's eclipse.
Yeah, there's a picture of them up there, people.
There we go.
I mean,
hours before Monday's eclipse, and they were officially counted by one of our favorite people, a Guinness World Record adjudicator.
Where's John Wick?
Yeah. So, the event took the title for the largest gathering of people dressed as the sun. I didn't realize that was a category, but from China Life Insurance Company Limited, which gathered 287 people, also garbed in solar regalia in 2020.
I wouldn't even have suspected that to be a world record. How many people got together dressed as a sun?
How many people can we get together to moon the adjudicator?
Oh,
yeah. The city thanked the Niagara River Trading Company for helping to organize a successful record attempt. Congratulations to everyone involved, making this special day even more memorable, the officials wrote. But that sounds like it was fun.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was a fun time. Now, our good friend David Rush is at it again. He's
Another record that we will not be attempting.
Yeah, no, I won't even think about this one. So
He has balanced a lawnmower on his chin for 9 minutes and 17 seconds while running.
that'd be a close shave.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too close.
David Rush, who was on a quest to hold the most concurrent Guinness World Records titles, previously attempted the record about 4 years ago, but his time of 3 minutes, 52 seconds was disqualified because his lawnmower did not have a bag on it.
Now, what happens if he had a lawnmower that did like self-mulching?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we're sorry, you're disqualified. No bag.
No record for you.
Yeah. The record was increased in the meantime to 7 minutes, 2 seconds by fellow serial record breaker Ashrita Furman. Rush finished his attempt at 9 minutes, 17 seconds, short of his goal of 10 minutes, but enough to take the title. The record brought his total concurrent titles to 165, bringing him closer to overtaking Silvio Saba, who currently holds 180 titles.
And there's a picture of him balancing the lawnmower on his chin. I mean, at least he has it going in the right direction, you know. So if it were to fall, the blade would not
Decapitate him?
Yeah, the blade would not get him. You know, I don't think life insurance would cover that. I mean,
This is one that
we all wish that we could have done.
I don't know about that. I'm not a drinker, so.
Yeah, I mean, I am. I can be, I should say. And I would have attempted this one, but you know, at
69 years old.
69 years old, what do you got to lose?
Yep.
You know, I mean.
So a 69-year-old retiree visited 120 pubs in order to order drinks in a 24-hour period, breaking a Guinness World Record.
So that's 120. Now, he ordered the drinks. I don't know if he drank them, but he ordered them.
That's true.
It doesn't say.
David Clarkson, who was born in Britain but has lived in Australia for over 40 years, started his attempt with a drink at the Captain Cook Hotel in Sydney. I guess Sydney must have a bunch of pubs close together.
Yeah.
Clarkson walked to 119 more establishments. Walked, stumbled, tripped, fell.
Rolled.
Over the course of the following 24 hours, ordering a drink at each stop. The Guinness World Record adjudicator, we got a name of an adjudicator here, Pete Fairbairn, joined Clarkson for the first 4 and final 4 hours of his attempt. Other witnesses accompanied Clarkson during the middle period of his pub crawl, collecting evidence for Fairbairn to review at the end of the day. Adjudicator.
You ever do a pub crawl?
No.
Oh my God.
No. I'm not a drinker.
I did a pub crawl up on Whiskey Row one year.
Oh, in
Prescott.
Prescott, yeah.
And no, I didn't even make it that far. I gave up. I didn't make it to the end of the road. You know, I got my card stamped because that's what they did. They gave you.
Oh.
You bought you signed up for it or whatever, and there was a cost, and they gave you a card that you would have stamped at every.
Okay, so because you prepaid for the alcohol.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But you would get your card stamped as you went down the Whiskey Row, and I didn't make it that far. I got about halfway down. Thank God for Uber.
Kind of like a dance card, but
yeah, same idea, but a lot newer.
Yeah. Clarkson's attempt came to an end at the Sussex Garden Bar, where Fairbairn certified his record. He took the title from Australians Harry Kouros and Jake Loiterton, who visited 99 pubs in 24 hours. Doesn't say what year that happened in, but
still
120 bars.
That's at least 120. Now, if
how many? Hold on. So
that'd be 120 beers.
Right? No. I get that, but 24 hours. There's 60 minutes in an hour. So how much time did he spend at each pub?
Come on, do the math.
I need my dispatcher Joel for this one. He's the math guy.
Yeah. Everybody do the math, and if you figure it out, put it in the comments, please.
There you go.
Now, You remember little like party poppers and stuff that would shoot the confetti? You know, they came out in like the 80s, I think. I remember that's when I first saw them, was like mid 80s.
Yeah.
You know, you'd pull the string on them.
They were a weak attempt at a pseudo firework, I guess.
Yeah, in a way, but this next one is like those little party poppers on steroids,
confetti cannons,
or
yes,
confetti poppers, or whatever they were.
A school in Australia has set off 2013 confetti cannons.
Once again, it's Australia.
Hey,
what else is there to do? Drink and shoot confetti cannons.
Let's go down under. And the confetti cannons were shot at the same time to celebrate its 40th anniversary and break a Guinness World Record. Students at the St. Stephen's School in Western Australia sent confetti flying into the air to break the record for the most people launching confetti cannons simultaneously. And the previous record stood at 1,116 people.
There's a picture of it going off right there. I mean, that is so cool looking.
Yeah.
That would be, that would be just cool. I would love to have seen that. I mean, hey, so speaking of down under in Australia, you know, what's the difference between a French kiss and an Australian kiss?
I don't know, but I'm afraid you're going to tell me.
Yeah, I am. One's down under.
The previous record, the students, a target the students nearly doubled with 2013. And, 1,116. That's almost a little less than double, but that takes some planning. Where do you even, I didn't even know there was 2,000 confetti cannons in existence.
Well, you know, they're probably the same cannons they use at the baseball game where they tuck the T-shirt into it.
Right.
And shoot it out, but they probably wound up...
the T-shirt launcher?
Yeah, the T-shirt launcher, but they probably packed it in full of confetti and shot those out. But still, though. And
here's another one that we'll never take part in because we have old man toes.
And we're not ballerinas.
Yeah.
So...
And nobody wants to see that anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't look good in a tutu. So
you wouldn't look good in a 3-3.
No, I would need more like a 44-44.
New York's famous Plaza Hotel hosted a Guinness World Record breaking event featuring 353 ballerinas on point at the same time. The nonprofit Youth America Grand Prix, which organizes competitions for young dancers, celebrated its 25th anniversary by gathering the white tutu-clad ballerinas at the hotel, having them all go en point, which is the ballet term for dancing on the toes, for a full minute.
They look like they're having fun, though. I mean,
yeah. And if that's what you do,
that's their thing. I mean, that's awesome.
That would be like us drinking beer at a baseball game.
Yeah, but you just said that you're not a drinker, so.
But I have a beer when I go to a game. It's only.
Yeah, will you get the hot dog burps when you're done?
Oh yeah. I'll have to visit Circle K for that hot dog burp water. No,
that was 7-Eleven.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't find it at Circle K.
I thought it was Circle K. You know, in Arizona here they have those the Diamondback dogs. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah. The attempt Wednesday took the record for the most ballet dancers on point simultaneously from a 2019 event that features 309 dancers, including talk show host Kelly Ripa. The big why we're doing it is to really let the world know that dance is a healing force. This is where it gets kind of...
I don't know how it could be a healing force because their toes are going to need a whole hell of a lot of healing.
I know. They're going to be 9 and have arthritis in their feet already. It's a healing force, said Sergey Gordiev, Director of External Affairs at YAGP. Not quite sure. I forget what that meant, but he told a publication called The Gothamist, dance is a power that brings us connection at a time when we're so disconnected. Yeah, where's the crickets on that one?
Don't get John Lithgow involved in that one.
Right.
You know, we already went over about the dancing. Now we've also
we found something that should be a world record.
It should be a world record. I mean,
we like the story, so.
Yeah, and you always have like the largest gourd you know.
And it's down under again.
And once again, it's
so
down.
we got a recurring theme here.
Yeah, well, at least it's not across the pond. Remember the beginning episodes? Everything was happening in England.
Yeah.
You know, but
Australia is the happening place to be, I guess.
Australia is the place for things to this week. These all came out the week here. One of the weeks, the week that we're recording, this one came out, and
this is April 16th from the UPI. An Australian man took the largest pumpkin grown in the country this year and turned it into a canoe that he paddled down the Tumut River. Hope I'm saying that right. The nearly 900-pound pumpkin, named Tormund in honor of Game of Thrones character Tormund Giantsbane, was grown by Mark Peacock and scored a blue ribbon at the Royal Easter Show.
There he is in the pumpkin going down the river.
That's cool.
That is really neat.
The pumpkin, the largest to win an award at any Australian show this year, captured the imagination of Mr. Peacock's friend Adam Farquharson. He sounds like a Viking.
Farquhar. It's like the name of the guy from Shrek.
Yeah.
Lord Farquhar.
Farquharson asked Peacock if he could have the pumpkin before it became feed for farm animals. So he hollowed it out, turned it into a boat, and rechristened it Cinderella, and paddled it for a mile down the Tumut River in New South Wales, while about 1,000 spectators followed along from the shore. He says it was a fitting send-off that the community got to experience Tormund the Pumpkin one more time in a different capacity. And this is Mark Peacock telling the Australian Broadcasting Corp.
ABC.
There we go. Farquharson said his only real motive for the stunt was to have fun and make people smile. It's just something really cool to do. I've paddled that river so many times, but it's the most fun I've ever had floating down the Tumut River. Farquharson earned the nickname Popeye the Pumpkin Man from locals. I think the worldwide fame will wear off pretty soon. He's not afraid he'll end up like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Bought and paid for. Anyway, pretty soon he'll just get back
she had
to
a
life
new
as
album
normal.
come out this week.
And for me, that's...
Yeah, and for me, that would be... that would be... I can't find it anymore.
Anyway.
Yeah, go on.
The pumpkin will now go on to...
Oh, here it is. For me, that would be...
Yeah. The pumpkin will now go on to serve its original purpose, feeding Mr. Peacock's cattle.
Well, once again, where were the adjudicators for this one?
I mean, look
there
at
has
the
to
adjudicators.
There has
Come
to
on
be.
now.
I mean, look at that. There has to be some record for a guy going down a river in a gourd.
Guy going down a river. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a big one.
You got to say that a little quicker because
Guy going down a river in a gourd. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
I don't.
Where's the cheers? Where's the audience? So anyways,
well, we come to the end. I think. I don't know. What about you, co-host?
I'm good. I think we had a lot of good stories today. We had a lot of fun.
A lot of good stories. It was. We serve sarcasm fresh every 2 weeks, and I think we've served enough today. We've outworn our welcome, maybe.
One last thing. I have to do this. Jessica, this is for you.
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right, guys. Well, and remember, everybody, like, subscribe, comment, give us tips, suggestions. Watch out for our shorts throughout the week, and then there's the music again, and I will.
Watch out for those alpacas and the booty calls that come with them.
Yeah, the booty calls that come with the alpacas. And you know what? At that point, I think we need to put this baby to bed.
See you next week, or 2 weeks.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 and 2.
All right, guys. Have a good time, and we'll see you in 2.
I'll come back now, yeah.